Hello everyone, we are going to do an example problem for how to allocate out joint production costs using two different methods. The first method is the sales value at split off method, where essentially you assign a proportion of your joint costs to your different products based upon what percentage of overall sales price would come from those products had you not processed further. The second one, down here in part 2, is going to have us use the physical measures method. And this is a question of quantity and not currency, if you will. Instead of saying this is the sales value of the thing, so we'll assign it proportionally to what sales value would be of our base level products, we're going to say this is the actual physical quantity, in our case gallons, that we made of each of the different sub-level products. Let's allocate out those joint costs based upon the quantity or gallons that we produced of each product. In this example, we are going to be Superclean Household Cleaners Incorporated. We currently manufacture two brands of cleaners, which we call Cleaner A and Cleaner B. Our company's sales suck, and people believe it's attributed to the terrible names of these products as well as the unpleasant smell of these cleaners. So we got to do something to fix this. Well, we're going to further process. However, Cleaner A and Cleaner B are both produced at the same time using the same production methods. Essentially, when we make a batch of both of these, we make them at once, and all of the costs that go into making that batch are joint costs that are shared between Cleaner A and Cleaner B. Well, our company's decided to rectify the situation to correct our sales. We need to process further, and what we're going to do is we're going to turn unpleasant Cleaner A into a fragrance called Lemon Fresh for our cleaner, and unpleasant fragrance Cleaner B into a smell called Metal Mist. So to do so, we have phases of cost going in. Jointly, we need to make Cleaner A and Cleaner B first so we can subsequently turn them into Lemon Fresh and Metal Mist. And to do so, we're going to spend $250,000. That's going to go into the production of these two. All of Cleaner A is going to be transferred out to become Lemon Fresh. And when that happens, we have a separable cost, as they call it, $25,000. So it is purely attributable to the process of turning Cleaner A into Lemon Fresh. And when Cleaner B, all of it is transferred out, all 60,000 gallons that we produce are going to become Metal Mist. The cost to turn Cleaner B into Metal Mist is also separable. It's $20,000. So these two costs, $25,000 and $20,000, are respective to the end products. They're not shared. None of that $25,000 that goes into turning Cleaner A into Lemon Fresh is attributable at all to the process of turning Cleaner B into Metal Mist. However, the $250,000 that go into making Cleaner A in the first place are shared by Cleaner B. Whole lot of information going on over here. And on top of that, we have how much we have in beginning inventory in terms of gallons for each one, which is nothing. We're starting from scratch here. How much we're going to produce of Cleaner A and Cleaner B, and subsequently how much it's going to turn into for Lemon Fresh and Metal Mist in terms of gallons. How many units of sales we expect that we are going to generate from our Lemon Fresh and our Metal Mist. How much is going to be transferred from Cleaner A to Cleaner A and Cleaner B to become Lemon Fresh and Metal Mist, which you see here is our entire production. And then what we could have sold Cleaner A and Cleaner B for had we not further processed, had we not turned them into these pleasant smelling cleaners. How much they would have sold for, going to be necessary for our sales value at split off method. And then we have how much our further produced better smelling cleaners, Lemon Fresh and Metal Mist, are intended to sell for, which is $5 per gallon. What we're tasked with here is making a product line income statement for our two second level products, our two higher level products, which are the Lemon Fresh and the Metal Mist. To do so, we need to first figure out how much of that joint cost of making Cleaner A and Cleaner B we're going to transfer out from the production of these base level products to their further refined sellable end products over here. And we're going to start doing that using the sales value at split off. So for the sales value at split off, we need to figure out how much we could have sold the base level products, Cleaner A and Cleaner B, for had we chose not to turn them into Lemon Fresh and Metal Mist. And for Cleaner A, we produced 100,000 gallons of it. We are saying here that we could have sold those for $3.50 a piece. So if we sold all 100,000 gallons of Cleaner A for $3.50 a piece, that would have generated $350,000 in sales revenue. For Cleaner B, we produced 60,000 gallons, which had we chose not to turn it into Metal Mist, we could have sold for $2.50 a gallon. In total, the sales of Cleaner A and Cleaner B, had we not turned them into Lemon Fresh and Metal Mist, would have generated $500,000 worth of sales revenue. So to figure out your sales value at Splitoff, it is just the production of the base level product times sales price of the base level product. Under the sales value at split-off method, we are going to assign a proportion of that $250,000 of joint costs to our two base level products based upon what proportion of sales value they would have generated at the split-off point. For Cleaner A, we would have generated $350,000 out of $500,000 worth of sales from the sales of that product. So have we not refined all of these products to become Lemon Fresh and Metal Mist? We just sold them as Cleaner A and Cleaner B. 70% of our sales revenue would have been generated by Cleaner A. For Cleaner B, we would have sold $150,000 worth of that product out of the $500,000 of total revenue we are expected to generate. It means 30% of our overall sales would have come from Cleaner B if we chose not to further produce these products. And in total, we've accounted for all 100% of our sales revenue. So to figure out your weighting for your allocation, you just take your sales value of base product and you divide it by the total sales from all base products. And now that we have that weighting, we're going to use it to spread out that $250,000 of joint costs. What we're saying here is 70% of the total sales revenue we would have generated at the split-off point where we decided to turn Cleaner A into Lemon Fresh and Cleaner B into Metal Mist. 70% of all sales would have came from Cleaner A, so let's go and assign 70% of that $250,000 of joint costs to Cleaner A. And 250,000 times 70% is 175,000. Cleaner B would have been 30% of our sales had we chose not to further process these products. So let's assign that particular base level product 30% of that $250,000 of joint costs. And when we do so, we see that our total joint costs allocated is going to be the full $250,000. So to figure out your joint cost allocation, it is just your joint costs times your weighting for each product. At this point in time, what we're saying is that Cleaner A has a cost of production. We'll be carrying it for an inventory of $175,000. Cleaner B has a cost of production. What we'll be carrying it for an inventory of $75,000. Well, we're not going to sell any Cleaner A or Cleaner B. No one likes them. They do not smell well. They have terrible names. Like, no one's going to buy these products. What we decided to do is to send all of Cleaner A off to be Lemon Fresh and all of Cleaner B off to be Metal Mist, which means when we transfer that finished base level product of Cleaner A and Cleaner B to become further refined products, we're also going to transfer the joint cost that we allocated to it. And now, Lemon Fresh, before we even begin to make it start smelling like lemons, whatever we have, is on our books saying it's being carried at a cost of $175,000 because that was the cost of the product, which is going to ultimately turn into Lemon Fresh. That Metal Mist, when we have it on our books, before we even start adding all the fragrances, etc., to make it into Metal Mist, it's going to have all of the costs that went into making Cleaner B because Cleaner B is the base level product, which becomes Metal Mist. So on our product line income statement, we can start right there. I'm going to skip down to the joint cost line. All $175,000 of costs that went into Cleaner A, will go into Lemon Fresh, and all $75,000 worth of cost that went into Cleaner B will become into Metal Mist. And in total, that is $250,000 of joint costs that went into making these two base level products, which are going to be transferred and used to calculate the gross profit of our further refined products of Lemon Fresh and Metal Mist. Now that we got that in there, let's figure out what our sales revenue is now that we're going to further refine these products. Well, for Lemon Fresh, we are going to sell 90,000 gallons. And we're going to do so at $5 a piece. That will generate $450,000 of sales revenue. For metal mist over here, we're going to have 50,000 gallons be sold at a price of $5 a piece. That is $250,000, which means in total, between those two products, now that we stopped selling them as these terribly named, awful smelling products and into something more marketable, they're going to generate $700,000 of sales revenue. But that's not all we need for gross profit, because all we have here is the cost of making Cleaner A and Cleaner B. We have not included the costs that are specific of turning Cleaner A into Lemon Fresh, and that is our separable cost for that product. It's going to cost us $25,000 to turn that product into Lemon Fresh. The same with Metal Mist. We have a separable cost here. We're going to incur $20,000 in costs to turn Cleaner B into Metal Mist. So that needs to have $20,000 assigned to it on its product line income statement. And that means that in total, we had $45,000 worth of separable costs. It's now to figure out our gross profit. It's just our sales revenue less our costs of production. And those costs of production are both our joint costs that went into making the base level products, which ultimately became our finished products, and the separable cost of turning those base level products into finished products. So for Lemon Fresh, we're going to sell them for $450,000. That particular product had $175,000 transferred to it from its base level product, and another $25,000 added during production. That means that all in all, after we account for all of the costs of production, the gross profit that our company is going to generate from sales of Lemon Fresh is $250,000. It's $250,000. Same thing for Metal Mist, $250,000 of sales revenue, less our $75,000 of joint costs, and less our $20,000 of separable costs, is going to be $155,000. And if we add those two together, our overall gross profit for our company is going to be $405,000. Numbers, vary. They're a good way to look at things, but they can be manipulated by how big or small they are. So it's best to look at how profitable a product is, not in terms of the actual dollar amount that it makes, but what its percentage is. What percent of each sales dollar ends up turning into profit. So let's compare these with gross profit percentage, which is just our gross profit. If I could type gross profit divided by our sales revenue. And we see here that if we make $250,000 of sales revenue off of $450,000 of sales from Lemon Fresh, 55.56% of all sales revenue turns into profit, or 55.5 cents of every sales dollar turns into profit. For Metal Mist, $155,000 divided by $250,000 shows us that 62% of all sales turn into gross profit for that particular product, and overall, Superclean household cleaners is going to generate $405,000 of gross profit out of $700,000 of sales. That is a overall, across all products, gross profit percentage of 57.86%.